an easy to grow vegetable that is packed with nutrients. Let's look at growing beets or beetroot. So we are growing this beet variety called Red Baron, and this is an excellent beet variety, as you will soon see. We are starting our seeds in seed starting cells. Now the ideal time to grow beets is either in spring or in fall. It's a cool season crop that grows very well in cooler temperatures and does not do very well when the temperatures get hot. Now in 22 days you can see that the beet seedlings have emerged and you can see a couple of leaves, and this is a good time to transplant the beets. Now you can wait for some more time till the plants become a little stronger, but this is a good time to transplant your beets. We are transplanting our beets onto our raised beds, and our raised bed has a lot of compost. We keep adding compost to our raised beds every 3 months or so, and this has really helped us build the soil of this raised bed. And as you can see, I'm not adding any organic fertilizer now when planting. That is because the raised bed already has a lot of nutrients from the compost that we have been adding. And the soil is also pretty loose. Beets grow in loose soil. And the last time we prepared this raised bed, we also added some sand in the soil. And that is because beets love sandy soil. So a little bit of sand added to the soil really helps. And we are spacing our beets a little further apart than we spaced it last time we planted beets. And that is because we are aiming for slightly larger beet roots this time. Now make sure that you choose a sunny spot for your beets. Beets or beetroot plants require at least about 6 hours of sunlight every day, and they will not grow very well if you plant them in shade. And here you can see the progress of the plants 30 days since sowing. They have taken off well and they have developed more leaves, and the stems are getting stronger now. And this is something that you will notice, that as soon as you transplant your beets, they will start growing stronger stems. And at this stage you can check for insects like aphids or caterpillars or worms on your beet plants. I usually just rinse them off if I see them. And beet greens are a little susceptible to caterpillars or worms, but I have not seen a lot of insects attacking beet plants. They grow pretty well and do not require a lot of care as far as insects and diseases go. Now at this stage you can start harvesting your beet greens. The beet greens are extremely delicious. They actually look very much like Swiss chard. And the beet is actually related to the Swiss chard plant. And here you can see that although this area receives a little bit of shade, the beet plants still get about 6 hours of sunlight a day. And at this stage you can add a liquid fertilizer like a fish seaweed combination, and that will really help strengthen your beet plants. And you can do this every 3 to 4 weeks. And here you can see the beet roots have formed and we are beginning our harvest. And you can see here the beetroot is of quite a good size. Now organically grown beets are not as huge as you would find in your grocery stores, but it's still pretty decent sized. And although these beets are smaller in size, they are absolutely loaded with flavor. They're absolutely delicious. And from one raised bed where we planted about a dozen beet plants, we got a pretty decent harvest. And this plant is known as beets, and it's also known as beetroot. But beet is actually the plant. The greens of the plant are also edible, they are the leaves. And then the roots of the plant, which are the beet roots, are also edible, and they're very delicious. And there are a lot of ways you can eat beets. You can eat them raw, they taste amazing. You can also chop them up, you can boil them, you can stir fry them. We make beetroot soup using the beetroots, the beet greens, some lentils and some spices, and it tastes amazing. Now, if there's too much nitrogen in the soil, you're going to get a lot of beet greens but less beet roots. And this is a common problem that a lot of gardeners face, where the beet plants do not produce big bulbs because bulbs require more phosphorus and more potassium. They do require nitrogen as well. So if you are in doubt, just use a vegetable fertilizer, something like the ones they make for tomatoes and peppers. You can use an organic fertilizer, and that ensures that you have enough nutrients in your soil. So the nitrogen content in the soil will produce more leaves, and then the phosphorus content helps healthier bulbs, phosphorus and potassium. So by using a balanced fertilizer, you provide all the nutrients to your plants, and then the plants take up the nutrients as they need them. But if you have too much manure in your raised bed or your soil, too much manure makes the plants grow larger leaves, but then you may not see the beet roots that you're expecting. Now some of these beets are quite small and it doesn't really matter. You can see that some of these roots have not grown that big. Now as far as watering goes, you can water your beet plants according to how hot it is in your area. Now Southern California weather is quite hot, and I was watering my beet plants about once in 3 days or so, and that was quite enough. I got very decently sized beets. And overall I've tried different beet varieties like the Detroit dark red as well as the red baron that you see here. And you can't go wrong with any beet variety. They all grow pretty well. It's just a matter of starting your seeds and then planting them and taking care of them. And we were able to harvest a lot of beets. So all in all, beets are very easy to grow, very easy to take care of. And as long as you have enough nutrients and compost in the soil, you will get decently sized beetroots. So there we have it, folks. That was our episode on growing beets or beetroot. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, do hit that subscribe button and then click on the bell button to get all future notifications. We'll see you again soon. Happy gardening.